You are now watching Zach Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' peeps? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be going over the results of the Late Night Series number 19 event. This is tied for the largest Fusion Strike event at 327 players, with my last Late Night Series event also at 327 players. What are the odds of that? Late Night Series events are awesome. They're free to play. Everyone's welcome to play in it. And you can learn more about it in the description below, so check that out. Also, the lists for this video are going to be in the description below. I do want to let people know that I'm going to be starting to cover over the top 16 decks of these events, as long as they stay within this size range. Usually I only cover the top 8, but as more players are seeing success, I want to share that success with everyone, give everyone their chance in the spotlight, and hopefully everyone enjoys that as well. If you enjoy that, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It does help boost the YouTube algorithm, so more people can enjoy my Pokemon content, and you can subscribe to the channel too. Double check if you haven't, if you think you've subscribed, because sometimes you don't. I do that all the time to a lot of people, and I feel so bad about it. I just watch their videos, I'm like, I subscribed, and I just totally haven't. So that being said, we're going to jump into the event and see exactly what we have going on right. So here you have it, the results of the Late Night Series number 19 event. So this was a large Late Night Series event. We had 300 plus players playing in this event, 327 to be exact. We tried a new structure for making it top 32, so 11 rounds, top 32. That seemed to work out great because a lot of players were in there. So you could see a lot of cool decks like Malamar, Jolteon, Ice Rider, Duraludon, all that kind of stuff. And one thing that I do want to let people know is that I'm going to be start doing top 16 for these videos now, because I think it's worthwhile to start looking over top 16 best decks in format. So we're going to start off. There's a lot more to cover, so let's start off quickly. We have Kaio Capitinha. I'm really bad at pronouncing names. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. With Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX. So the goal of this deck is to be using Inteleon VMAX, keep on using the Rapid Strike energies, lifting them back with its attack, and 140, 140, 140, 140 healing. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. You have access to Avery to take out some of your opponent's Pokemon, for Cheryl. When it comes to this list, I mean, I'm not sure why it's placed like this on the Limitless website. It's kind of actually really awkward. The Sobble, Drizzile, Inteleon. So not sure why those weren't sorted, but that's okay. That's just me being a little bit particular. We have, I mean, I think this list looks fine. Basculin's a really cool card. Basculin does 30 plus 10 for each damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. Can really add up, and it does take a Rapid Strike energy as well. I think this list looks cool. I don't know if I like the version without playing Double Gunner, but maybe that's the better version to be playing. I think I need to just experiment with it nowadays, but this really might just be the best way to be playing it. So great job. Rapid Strike Inteleon, kind of a lower tier top 20 deck right now, but I think it has a lot more potential than what it's currently seeing success. Jumping into number 15, we have Charles Martin playing Jolteon VMAX. Jolteon VMAX, always a great choice. I think the 4-3 Jolteon VMAX, the goal using Max Thunder Rumble, 100 damage to the active, 100 damage to a damaged benched Pokemon. You get those damage counters with Zigzagoon or Quick Shooting. I think the list looks very good. I don't see anything that I would actually change about this list. If anything, this is exactly my current list, so straight up, great job to Charles. Jolteon VMAX is well positioned because it has a decent matchup against Mew VMAX, Suicune, and a lot of other decks in the format can't really handle the double pings from Max Thunder Rumble, so great job over there. We have an interesting deck at number 14. We have Jonathan Patricio. I always like to say Jonathan Patricio, but it's, yeah, Jonathan. We have the Duraludon list that's been seeing a lot of success lately. So 3-3 Duraludon with this Skyscraper ability, preventing all damage by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have any special energies attached to them. I think that's a pretty cool ability. There's a lot of decks that have special energies attached to them. 2 Zacian, 1 Zamazenta. I think players are playing Avery for Suicune or just drawing 3 cards. Not sure how I feel about it. Adventurous Discovery, again, another underutilized card. Searching your deck for 3 Pokemon V, and yes, I could search out VMAX Pokemon. I think it's just like this kind of mid-range attacking control deck where you go Crushing Hammer against your opponent's Pokemon, Flannery against Path to the Peaks, or just special energies that might not matter, Crystal Caves, Healing, Big Charms, Energies. So I think like attacks like this are really cool. I really like the energy switch in the deck, probably more than I like the Raihan in the Grant Manley build. So overall, I think that this is a very good build of Duraludon VMAX, but I don't know how I like Duraludon, if I like how Duraludon VMAX is getting built right now. I also don't know if the deck needs Zamazenta V. I'm still very confused about that card in general. So great job to Jonathan. We have where are they from? They're from El Salvador, so probably Jorge Connie playing Turbo Zacian. So normally my buddy Josh Sutherland plays this deck. Playing it 4-2-2, just trying to go Intrepid Sword, attack with Brave Blade quickly as possible. Don't necessarily think Rusted Shield is very important. I'd rather see a Turbo Zamazenta build with Rusted Shield. This looks very similar to the build that my group and I popularized at the beginning of the season in September. So, I mean, overall, I think it looks like a solid list. I think the Rusted Shield should just be another Cape of Toughness if you had to ask me. Otherwise, Turbo Zacian is a really basic deck that is relatively cheap budget, and I think great for newer players to the game. Still can pop off here or there, but not necessarily as much as other decks right now. We're going to see our first Mew with Cheech. Cheech typically does very well at the late night series, so it's nice to see them up there as well. We got the Mew VMAX focusing on Cross Fusion Strike to copy Technoblast or Melodious Echo or even Psychic Leap on Mew V. You have the Fusion Strike system with Genesect V, trying to draw a bunch of cards. I mean, what does this deck not have? You have Energy Acceleration, Damage Outputs. You could bring up your opponent's Pokemon with Boss's Orders. You have access to Cram-O-Matic to search out whatever you like. I think this is a very strong build of the deck. If anything, I think my deck is exactly the same, except my Vitality Band is cut for an Alice of Sparkle, my Boss's Orders is cut for an Oricorio, and my Crystal Cave is cut for something else. I do like Escape Rope in this deck, so that's one thing that I would like to point out, but a lot of players are seeing success with Mew regardless of their current list. We're going to be moving on beyond that. We have Vicariant playing Mew as well, so we can see their list is probably going to be incredibly similar. They're going with the 4 Alice of Sparkle, like I like to play in my list. I think this was literally currently my list, except I play Escape Rope. I don't play Vitality Band, which I think I play for an Oricorio, so very, very similar across the board. They do play a third Energy, which is great in a Duraludon heavy metagame, so a very typical, powerful version of Mew. Speaking about my buddy Josh Sutherland, there they are, playing the Turbo Zacian deck. This is pretty much exactly the same list that I'd be playing. I think a second copy of Raihan might be better than maybe the fourth copy of Cape of Toughness. Maybe the fourth copy of Cape of Toughness is what I play. I'm honestly not sure, but either way, Josh knows what he's doing with this deck. Always making it to the top tables regardless of whatever deck he's playing. So shout out to Josh. I'd love to see the homies up there. We have Andrew S. Playing Jolteon. So we've already saw Jolteon. Very similar list to one that we saw. They do play double Fan of Waves. That comes at the cost of maybe a boss. Other than that, I think that it seems like a very typical strong build. So nothing out of the ordinary, and not really too much that I would personally change here either. So shout out to Andrew. We're moving into the top 8 now. So previously we wouldn't be covering all those other decks within the top 16, but covering those decks is awesome. We're going to be moving into 8. We have GZ ACG playing Mew VMAX. So again, you can see these lists are very similar. They are playing the Escape Rope in their deck. Yeah, I think all of these lists are very similar. They're playing an extra copy of Switch, no Rotom Phone, playing an Evolution Incense, just cards that you could burn out of your hand. This is the most popular version of Mew. Meloetta is just absolutely cracked at getting those turn 1 210 not good anything. So shout out to Jeezy. We have Fabian Robledo, sorry, playing Turbo Zacian again. So you can see quite a few Turbo Zacians, the decks that are doing well. Keep on doing well, playing with the double Raihan version. So again, I think this list is very similar, just one card off from Josh Sutherland's list. I think they cut a tool scrapper for that second copy of the Raihan. So well played to them overall. Turbo Zacian doing incredibly well. We have Thembert, my buddy Matt, playing Mew VMAX. I think this version of Mew VMAX, again, very similar. 3/3 boss and Elsa to make room for... I don't know what they're necessarily making room for. They have the Rotom phones. I think all these lists looks very similar in general, where they're playing either 6 or 7 energies. They play Escape Rope, play a few Switch, they play 3-4 stadiums. You can see that like the lists are like 55 cards exactly the same, and then the other 5 cards are really their flavor cards. So great job to Matt playing that deck. We have Pertz playing again at Mew VMAX. So we can see exactly how that works out. Probably going to be very similar. We've seen a lot of Mew VMAX decks. So I don't want to be rushing over any players. I mean, I like to congratulate every single player who's seen success at these events. But I do also want to be like, hey, by the way, we are looking at the same UV Max list that we've already done. So for the sake of the video and any educational purposes, I do try to put that out there. Again, a very similar list to what we've seen. Not going for Rotom Phone, going for an Evolution Incense. I think that seems completely fine and valid. What else do we got going on here after Perts? We have El Nortamigo playing Shadow Rider. So, I mean, Shadow Rider's a really cool deck overall. They went for an Alcremie build with Zacian instead of the build that I like with Latias. But this build looks really good, and it's probably good against Jolteon VMAX. I wouldn't necessarily worry about Phoebe too much. I really wouldn't worry about Phoebe too much. Maybe they're worried about Turbo Zacian, and that's really the struggle, but I think one Phoebe enough probably doesn't win that matchup anyways. Overall, build looks really great. The goal is just to be using Shadow Riders, Underworld Door, Accelerating Energies, and this deck in the Chilling Rain format was tier 1. It could come back. So if you haven't already given a chance to try play this deck out or try this deck, I think it's really worthwhile. It does do better than Mew in some circumstances against some of the decks that counter Mew, and vice versa if you are playing Mew. We do have Christian Stiriron, so my buddy Epo, playing Single Strike. So I mean, so far with the build, the goal is to use Single Strike Roar, powering up your Umbreon V, Umbreon VMAX, Single Strike Urshifu V, Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. This looks like a very good build of the deck. I don't think there's really too much that I would change out of here at all, actually. I think it just seems like a really good build. Maybe cutting a Single Strike Urshifu V would be great. 3-2 might be a little bit much, but with the Jolteon infested metagame, I think this seems strong. Maybe you could get rid of a switch card as well. So might be a little bit like, but I think this list is like 2 cards off from my current list. So again, really powerful deck, powering up different Pokemon, being fighting for Jolteon and Gengar and Eternatus, and being dark for Shadow Rider. And Mew can be really helpful on top of having the strong Single Strike build. So making top 4. We do have finals. We have my Shuffle Squad teammate and testing partner Vaughn O'Brien playing Jolteon VMAX. I think that Vaughn and I are on the exact same list right now. This is the same list I think that Vaughn was able to win the 1.7k event, so a $1,700 event in Connecticut that was in real life. So Vaughn crushing it with the Jolteon VMAX here again, making finals is absolutely sick, winning some of the Atlas Store credits. So great list of Vaughn, and we do have our champion Chrome PvP winning the 3rd late night series in a row with Mew VMAX. Chrome hasn't, Mew VMAX has, but Chrome winning with Mew. I think adding 1 Peony in the deck is really cool for Mirror, so you could just search things out at your free will. Overall, I think everything else looks very similar to what we've seen throughout the rest of this list. So Mew VMAX doing incredibly well as always. If you're looking to do well at the late night series, Mew VMAX does find itself in the finals pretty much every single week. So keep that in mind as the format grows, is that Mew VMAX is incredibly good. All these lists are going to be available in the description of this YouTube video with the link to all the standings on the Play Limitless website. Congratulations to every single player who placed at this event, who played in this event, watched the stream, who support myself as a content creator. It's much appreciated for these late night series. Again, a special shout out to our sponsors, PTCGO Store and Atlas Collectibles. That's what we got going on with this video today, peeps. Hopefully you did enjoy watching it, learning a little bit more about this event, and hopefully get a chance to tune in to the Late Night Series number 20 event. That event should be absolutely massive, and it should be a smash success. Again, fingers crossed that we get more than 327 players. I'd like to break 350, so if you haven't already, check it out. There is the Discord server below that you can totally join and learn more about this. People will explain what's going on. We have a great community there of over 1,000 members. So as always, I appreciate all the support. Thumbs up to the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch up with all y'all next time. Peace out and have yourself a wonderful day wherever it is in the world. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.